to be exhibited by all Nigerians irrespective of status.
Everyone must observe COVID-19 protocol when flights resume this Wednesday, just as centers for WAEC are to be decontaminated. House of Representatives investigates $30 billion revenue leakages.
Any station that is unable to pay the balance of 40% indebtedness within the 3 months window shall forfeit the opportunity to enjoy the stated debt forgiveness.
Lifeline for indebted broadcast outfits as federal government rolls out incentives. Plus, work to commence at the Jakarta Steel Complex as soon as Russian experts arrive. Good evening and a warm welcome to the news on NTA, reaching you live from the nation's capital. I am Kene Ima Abonike. Reading with me tonight is Adola Komia Kere in Lagos and Agatha Egwara Ojo in Benin. Thanks for staying with the NTA. Revenue leakages amounting to $30 billion have caused the House of Representatives to open an inquiry. This is to enable it to know the actual amount involved and those responsible in what it describes as acts of economic sabotage. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Findings by the National Assembly show that some financial institutions allegedly connive with commercial banks and other private entities to engage in malpractices in foreign exchange. Tax evasion amounting to $30 billion was said to have occurred in activities such as over-the-counter purchase for importation, foreign loan interest payments, forex allocation to companies and oil revenue, among others. Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila says this investigative hearing, jointly carried out by committees of finance, banking and currency, is expected to identify the sources of the leakages and the systematic failure that created them.
We do not have the resources we need to deliver on our development ambitions and the infrastructure projects we have committed to. Under the circumstances, it is unconscionable that we are still losing vast sums of money to avoidable leakages in the system.
This investigative hearing is therefore aimed at exposing these leakages and recommend appropriate legal reforms that will forestall future occurrence.
The Joint Committee urged those invited to forward their submissions, stressing that the exercise is not a witch hunt, but to simply ensure that all actors play by the rules and pay into the Treasury what is due to the government. Those who appear include the Ministry of Finance, Central Bank of Nigeria, commercial banks and some private entities. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Jakarta Steel Company completion temporarily interrupted by COVID-19 but now ready to start. Minister of Mines and Steel Development Olamileko Adebide stated this in Abuja. Mia Ogiri completes the report.
Jakarta Steel Company has seen a lot in its over 40 years journey, regrettably still in incubation. But when the federal government shows commitment for its delivery through partnership with the government of Russia, COVID-19 struck.
Just before the pandemic set in, we were to host the Russian experts who are coming in to do the technical audit of Jakarta and of course of Nyomko in Itape. But of course, this is in abeyance until the pandemic or the lockdown, especially on air travel, international travel, is lifted. Everything that is required in Jakarta and Nyomko that's obtainable in Nigeria must be sourced from Nigeria.
Jakarta Steel Company still invoking unimaginable sympathy, and the federal government is also willing to complete it. But that does not take away the attention given to other segments of the mining value chain by the federal government. 2.3 trillion naira post-COVID-19 intervention fund released by the federal government, and the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development gets 6 billion naira from it.
We intend to spend this fund and some other funds that are available to us, helping to improve artisanal mining projects in Nigeria.
Illegal miners arrested early this year are set for trial, the Mines Minister assured. Mie Ogede, NTA News.
On the 11th of last month, the 9th National Assembly marked 1 year of its legislative calendar with the passage of 14 bills to its credit. Less than 1 month into the second year, the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has reiterated the Senate's commitment towards a much better relationship with the executive. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nku now reports.
It was another moment of stock-taking and public enlightenment.
To say that the executive and us in the legislature are not on the same page because of an action by someone out or amongst the executive. But I want the press to understand that what the National Assembly is insisting on is in the national and public interest.
At inception, the 9th Senate was clear on assisting the executive expand revenue generation, and that still remains part of its agenda as it awaits the submission of the Petroleum Industry Bill for consideration.
We are aware that the executive has been working round the clock to ensure that the bill or bills are sent to the National Assembly in the next possibly 2 weeks. And if we receive them, it is our desire in the National Assembly that we start work on the bill or bills.
While emphasizing the important role of the media in feedback mechanism, Senator Lawan observed that the legislature has been the stabilizing institution in Nigeria's democracy. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nku, NTA News.
Let's go to security now, where the Nigerian Army has inaugurated 10 locally manufactured armored combat vehicles and launched Exercise Sahel Sanity to tackle banditry in the northwest. Chief of the Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukuru Buratai, performed the ceremony at the Special Army Super Camp 4, Faskari local government area, Katsina State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the event climaxed the ongoing 2020 Nigerian Army Day celebration.
Using the local content capabilities of the talented Army officers to tackle local security challenges and these mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles are testimonies as the Army Chief admits them to the fleet. With the newly inaugurated armory set for use, Exercise Sahel Sanity takes off on a sound footing, a highly mobile operation aimed at crushing bandits in the northwest. The inducted combat vehicles named Konkaro, a child of necessity, in line with the federal government local content policy, has a 3 super camp in Faskari, Katsina State. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
As part of efforts to flush out bandits terrorizing the eastern part of Sokoto State, the Nigerian Air Force has launched an interdiction operation in the state. Abdulrahman Usman Jibrila completes the report.
The air interdiction operation launched by the Nigerian Air Force in Sokoto State is part of the ongoing operation to flush out bandits in the northwest. The operation will consist of surveillance, intelligence gathering, airstrikes, as well as search and rescue. Aircrafts have been deployed for the operation in Sokoto, which target bandits in their locations. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, was on ground to monitor the operations. The air interdiction operation, which is the second exercise launched by the Nigerian Air Force in Sokoto, will last 4 days. In Sokoto, Abraham Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
The Nigerian military says the air task force of Operation Lafia Dole has destroyed the dwellings of Boko Haram terrorist leaders and neutralized some of the fighters in separate airstrikes conducted at Parisu and Bula Bello in the Sambisa forest area of Borno State. A statement from the Defense Media Operations indicates that the air interdiction Missions were executed on 3rd July 2020 under Operation Long Reach 2 after intelligence reports indicated a resurgence of terrorist activities in the two settlements. Consequently, the Air Task Force dispatched 8 fighter jets to attack the two locations, scoring accurate bomb and rocket strikes, resulting in the destruction of some of their structures, as well as the killing of several terrorists. The Defense Headquarters and Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, commends the ATF for their dedication. Now, the Federal Safety Corps is calling on all transport unions and motor parks to stop hawkers and beggars from coming in and hanging around the parks. Passengers have also been discouraged from standing in the old mass.
Free hand sanitizing and hand wash units, checking the temperature of potential passengers, disabling the air conditioning system in vehicles and ensuring windows are open, compulsory use of face masks by passenger and driver, and avoiding overloading and observing physical distancing.
Intimate our state chairman immediately to liaise with your state counterparts with a view to ensure full compliance.
There's need for us to...
Data plan. All existing Glow customers now enjoy up to 20% more data. Dial *777# to choose a plan. Glow Unlimited.
This kind of nonsense has to end today. Why would the bank be removing somebody's money every time like that?
Mr. John.
My neighbor.
Yes, sir. Why are you rushing to like this?
Can you imagine? I just sent money to my son, and I got a debit alert of 15 naira from my bank as stamp duty. I am going to seek explanation from my bank because I made a transfer, not post a letter.
Mr. John, let me explain what stamp duty is. Stamp duty is not all about postage stamp matters. The 15 naira is a stamp duty levy charged by banks on customers who make transfers of 10,000 naira and above from one bank account to another bank account.
And why should I pay stamp duty from my hard-earned money?
Mr. John, paying stamp duty levy is a civic duty for every patriotic citizen. The taxes we all pay are collected and used by the government to pay salaries and provide basic amenities for citizens. It's even easier to make stamp duty payments now. All you need to do as a taxpayer is to log on to the following: www.stampduty.gov.ng or www.firs.gov.ng and click on e-stamping. By the way, Mr. John, it pays to pay your tax, you know.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you, my daughter.
You're welcome,
My
sir.
regards to your family.
All right, sir.
This broadcast is powered by FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service.
Occupation life, be who you want to be. Time to get active. Yes, the time is now. Come on, get active. Yes, you can do it if you try.
Start an active life with the power of vegetables and fruits. Chivita Active. Be active. Do more.
Hold on. Really? Yes.
There's an easier way to get more data. Get more out of life with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now. Data is life.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
that it's not just about buying a dress. Being able to pay your bills.
The ticket isn't showing cartoon.
But I just paid for it.
Promise.
I promise.
Making that quick stop at the shop. Or sending some money home for the holidays.
We just received the money right now.
You're welcome, Mom. I told you I would send it.
It's about the 90,000 businesses across 13 countries in Africa who trust us to keep their promises. It's knowing that anywhere, anytime, anyway, you can always pay. Flutterwave, simplifying payments for endless possibilities.
Hi, hello. They told me you are the best around here.
What can I do for you, sir?
I want my own very, very simple. I don't want any shine. If I see any shine.
Actually, I'd love some sequins on my skirt, and I don't like anything. I beg, I want frills on mine, but it must not be too tight.
Tight! That tight now, that is what I want. And the transition.
Oh, you know what? I want a gown.
Me too. I want to come fine. You know what EMS can tell me? Did you capture all the information?
Of course not.
Actually.
Fantastic.
I give my customers what they love because everyone has their unique style. So why should they wear the same thing? Just like MTN for me, which gives unique data and recharge offers just the way you like it. Just dial *121# and turn up great offers every day.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Thank you for staying with us. Domestic flights are set to resume this Wednesday with a presidential directive that no VIP or government official should get preferential treatment with regard to COVID-19 protocols for the aviation industry. WAEC examinations will also hold from 4th of August to 5th of September this year. The Tari then reports on PTA briefing this Monday.
Abuja, Lagos and Kano airports have been certified by the Ministry of Aviation to resume domestic flights, beginning with Lagos and Abuja this Wednesday. However, there will be strict enforcement of COVID-19 protocols for the aviation industry.
Big men, especially military men, ministers, members of the National Assembly and the judiciary are culprits. They have all this, their PAs and SAs and relatives of people that are not traveling, and they insist they must take them inside and onto the aircraft by protocol. This will not be allowed, will not be permitted, they will be stopped.
Meanwhile, WAEC examinations scheduled for 4th of August will hold in more than 19,000 centers to be decontaminated nationwide.
The states who are willing should make their schools available for their children to revise.
We have the list of all the schools that need to be decontaminated and disinfected before resumption.
I also represented Mr. President by commissioning the 10,000 housing units in Borno State. This is all geared towards resettlement and rehabilitation of the IDPs.
Prospective evacuees should keep in touch with the embassies, missions, consulates in the countries in which they find themselves.
The PTF warned that relaxation of COVID-19 restrictions is not a license to throw caution to the wind.
I therefore encourage all Nigerians to get tested to enable us fight this pandemic.
I need to hear appeal to citizens, especially those COVID positive patients who feel those symptoms at all, not to take invitation to treatment centers as persecution.
To encourage access to testing for COVID-19 among Nigerians, the PTF says more hospitals will be designated nationwide as sample collection centers. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
India is now third worst infected with COVID-19 in the world after it records 23,000 new cases as Pakistan Health Minister tests positive for COVID-19. And Debola Bruskley Sunday has these and more and global update.
Saudi Arabia authority says Muslim pilgrims at this year's Hajj must wear face masks at all times, while workers will ensure no overcrowding or gatherings take place during the pilgrimage. The nation's Center for Disease Prevention and Control also listed as preventive measures physical distancing, people will not be allowed to touch the Kaaba, no sharing of personal items such as clothes, phones and toys. The kingdom has the highest number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the Arab world, with more than 200,000 infections. India has reported more than 23,000 new cases of coronavirus in 24 hours, overtaking Russia to become the third country with highest number of coronavirus cases in the world. The caseload is about 8 times that of China, which has a similar population size. And Pakistani Health Minister Zafar Mirza said he has tested positive for COVID-19. The minister disclosed this on his Twitter handle, explaining that he has isolated himself at home and taking all precautions. At about 7 p.m. local time, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases globally now stands at 11,630,803. 538,177 deaths, while 6,579,999 persons have recovered from the virus.
And strengthen the existing collaboration to fight COVID-19. Paul Abel reports.
This is the second time the Presidential Task Force, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health, is visiting Cross River State in less than 2 months. I have here with me the leader of the delegation, who is going to tell us more on the essence of the visit.
We're all aligned around that vision. It's now a question of really the operations. How do we make sure that we achieve the same goals, working together as Nigerians, working as one team?
So we want everyone to indeed just continue to collaborate with the Cross River State government, and we'll be happier for it.
Other activities to climax the visit include inspection of the garment factory, visit to border locations in a bid to make minimal impact of COVID-19 on lives and the means of livelihood of the people.
In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
To other matters now, the federal government has approved the debt forgiveness and license fee waiver for terrestrial broadcast stations in the country. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja. Anthony Forson tells us more.
Following recommendations by the Post-COVID-19 Initiatives Committee for the Creative Industries report on how to mitigate the negative effects of COVID-19 on the creative industry as a whole, the broadcast industry is to enjoy some benefits aimed at giving a lifeline to the industry. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed disclosed that the National Broadcasting Commission has been mandated to grant broadcast stations 60% debt forgiveness and allow debtor stations to pay 40% on existing debt within 3 months.
Any station that is unable to pay the balance of 40% indebtedness within the 3 months window shall forfeit the opportunity to enjoy the stated debt forgiveness. The debt forgiveness shall apply to functional licensed terrestrial radio and television stations only.
The debt forgiveness and discount shall not apply to pay TV service operators in Nigeria.
These measures are in addition to the 2-month license fee waiver granted to terrestrial broadcast stations in the country by the NBC.
Responding to a question on the NBC Amended Act, the Acting Director General of the NBC explained that it is being implemented in the interest of the nation.
The provisions are clearly in the national interest. What are the issues? We are saying there should be no monopoly, by one big player to the extent that you suffocate or exclude other local players from participating in the industry. We are introducing legislation that will further request broadcast stations, to live up to their national obligations at times of national emergency.
He assured that Nigerians will be better for it in the end, as it will, among other issues, break monopoly and grant all players in the industry a level playing field for a healthy competition. In Abuja, Anthony Fosun, NTA News.
And now to politics, where the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, political parties and candidates to strictly adhere to the guidelines on COVID-19 during their campaigns.
Some states will be holding state and local government elections this year. Therefore, we've developed these guidelines to support everyone involved. Political parties, INEC, but most critically, Nigerians that will be going to vote. We strongly encourage the use of TV, radio, mobile vans, social media, and other forms of communication as we solicit for votes, as our politicians solicit for votes. We advise careful adherence to mass gathering guidelines. And finally, in this particular case, we really want to urge our politicians, our leaders, to take responsibility and lead by example.
Still talking politics, the All Progressives Congress National Campaign Council for the 2020 Edo State governorship election has been inaugurated. Chairman, Caretaker and Extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee, May Malabuni, also inaugurated the party's Edo and Ondo State Reconciliation Committees. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
The guideline released by the Independent National Electoral Commission, in line with Section 99, Subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, campaign in public by political parties in Edo State shall commence on the 21st June 2020. In view of this, and in line with COVID-19 protocol, only the chairmen and secretaries of the committees have been inaugurated on behalf of members. In their terms of reference, the reconciliation committees are to reach out to relevant stakeholders in Edo and Ondo and practically demonstrate the party's plans initiated to rebuild confidence and recover its glory among supporters and Nigerians. While the task before the high-level National Campaign Council for the Edo State governorship election, as highlighted by the caretaker chairman May Malabuni, is to go for victory.
I'm glad to state that the caretaker committee, which I am opportune to lead, had initiated a wide range of consultations. We are committed to rebuilding confidence and trust, recover the glory and political fortunes of the party in all the states across the country.
Chairman of Edo Governorship Campaign Council of APC, Governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Umar Gandoji, said the committee has the capacity to deliver and retain Edo State in the Progressives family.
APC is the answer in Edo State.
What we're just going to get there to do is to make sure that we bring everybody together and we focus on competence of people that will be representing the party in the coming elections.
And it's normal to have misunderstanding, but at the end of the day, I can assure you we'll be able to reconcile the problem of the party.
Other members of the committees present at the event are governors of Kogi, Lagos and Gombe State, including a former Senate President, Ken Nnamani. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Let's now join Adeola in Lagos for more reports.
Thank you, Kenny. The Nigerian Army 9th Brigade has inaugurated a disinfection tunnel in its premises to control the spread of coronavirus in Lagos State. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Toko Burutai, said the Army, while protecting the nation's integrity, will also uphold the safety of officers and men. Abolade Salami reports.
As the federal government intensifies efforts at flattening the curve of coronavirus in the country, the Nigerian Army is throwing its weight behind the safety strategies of the government with the launch of a disinfection funnel at the premises of the brigade. The facility is part of the Army's commitment to ensure officers and men, including other personnel, do not contract the deadly virus. The Nigerian Army is also prioritizing the welfare of its personnel with the remodeling of officers' mess and aviation pilot accommodation.
Drawing mentorship from the Chief of Army Staff, they have gone beyond renovating the mess. I am happy to put on record that today we have remodeled the mess.
The initiative of the Nigerian Army is not limited to its personnel, so as part of its activities to mark the 2020 Nigerian Army Day, officers and men of the 9th Brigade took their milk of kindness to Onigbohun, a community in Lagos. Oluwasegun Ajasa said the gesture is timely as many in the community are facing challenging times, no thanks to coronavirus.
With the community of Onigbohun, we are happy. Both the chiefs and the regents and the entire Onigbohun people, we are all happy with what they did for us today.
Thank God that they really tried.
Onigbohun and many other communities have benefited from the Army-civil relationship over the years. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
And now to internally displaced persons. After 6 months of living at the Gondo relief camp, 300 internally displaced persons of the Abule-Egba pipeline explosion have received financial assistance from the Lagos state government to begin life afresh. Joy Ken Abakboya reports that while at the camp, they acquired skills via various vocational training programs.
Awe Odunayo and Anna Olumote are among 300 IDPs, the lucky ones who not only survived the Abule-Egba fire disaster of January 19, 2020, but now have something to look forward to. Following the explosion in January, the Lagos state government took responsibility of their well-being, partnering the Ministry of Poverty Alleviation to build the also presented during their stay in camp.
During this process, we improve their psychological thinking, social welfare were given to them. Children were taken to their various schools, so there was no disruptions of their education.
The pipeline explosion, which occurred in January, was as a result of the nefarious activities of vandals. Several lives were lost and many displaced. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakboya, NTA News.
Another break beckons now. The news will thereafter continue with Kenny in Abuja.
See, as I talk to you plenty now, because I get blue too, that make me they talk. Please, I be not be so. All right. You say I won't talk plenty. I know say I not they lie. You see this glow? If you get them, I not go even. I go just they talk, they go because it's not there.
Enjoy international calls from as low as 40 kobo per second from Nigeria to the world. Call your loved ones today.
Thank you, my sister. You do well, eh?
Unlimited.
Here is a very tough guy who knocks out every opponent, but now he's been knocked down by malaria.
Amatem Soft Gel.
Amatem Soft Gel.
Amatem Soft Gel makes treating malaria easy.
Daddy, when I had malaria in school, they gave me Amatem Soft Gel. It's soft and easy to swallow.
Amatem Soft Gel is a game changer.
Amatem for some gel, a good talk about malaria for body.
Available for adults and children. Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
For over 70 years, we've protected our homes against germs together. And now is no different. So let's disinfect and protect our floors and surfaces every day. Dettol. Protect what's worth fighting for.
Want access to all your favorite local and international shows wherever you go? Here's how. Head to showmax.com and click try for free for 14 days. Enter your email and create password. Choose your plan and payment method that suits you and start watching. You just opened up a whole new world of non-stop entertainment. Stream online or download the Showmax app to watch on your mobile or tablet, anywhere, anytime. Visit showmax.com now.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it. Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
In Nigeria, there is one sound we need to silence. So let's silence toothache before it starts with Oral-B all-round protection. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth hurts and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because the only sound we really want to hear is that of our future. For healthier, stronger teeth in 1 week.
Encourage shopping with the right place.
That one no fine.
No, it's too dull.
This one.
Oh wow, it's beautiful.
Omo, this fabric.
It gon' fade though.
Yeah.
Look, make I tell you something. The new area Ankara, it go take good care of it. Right? Not life. Not true.
And the price cheap.
Try new Ariel on Ankara and colors now.
For over 70 years, we've practiced healthy hygiene habits together. The world needs us to keep our fight going against germs. So let's wash our hands for 20 seconds regularly. Dettol. Protect what's worth fighting for.
I just don't understand this coronavirus thing. Is it real?
See, coronavirus, known as COVID-19, it's a global problem and has killed thousands of people in China, Italy, Spain, UK, US, and other countries around the world.
Okay. Now, why are they saying that we should stay home?
Because if you go outside and get in contact with someone who is infected, you become infected and then come back home, affect your family. That's how it happens in other countries.
Now, please, help me explain what this social distance is all about.
See, as we are now, the virus travels through the air and by touch. We must maintain 6 foot distance at all times.
Oh, so it's not by washing my hands with soap and water or hand sanitizer that is only important?
Washing of our hands regularly is very important. But we must come together and fight this virus like we did Ebola. It is our responsibility to each other.
Thank you for staying with us. Following the trending news of the arrest of the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, Department of State Services, DSS, has denied the arrest of the EFCC chairman. A statement by the Public Relations Officer of the DSS, Dr. Peter Afunaya, says the news of the arrest is not true, as Ibrahim Magu is not in their custody. EFCC, on the other hand, also clarified that the acting chairman only honored an invitation by a presidential panel reviewing the activities of the commission at the banquet hall of the president's villa. The head of media and publicity, Delia Oyewale, in a statement says the FCC boss was served with the invitation to the panel while on his way to the force headquarters for a meeting. He explained that Magu was neither arrested nor forced to honor the invitation, as reported by some sections of the media. The Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, in Rivers State, has expressed satisfaction with the quality of projects and the potential impact on the economy. IPAC members spoke to newsmen shortly after an inspection tour of some of the projects in the state. Kingsley Amajiri has the report.
The Inter-Party Advisory Council.
It's been, a fantastic, display of mastery and passion for Rivers people.
Here is Garrison Flyover. The less than 6 months and the flyover is at this stage. It is a practical confirmation that all we have been hearing on the radio and the televisions are what the governor is doing. We want to give the governor kudos. Chairman of IPAC in Rivers State, Ambassador Desmond Akawo, said Governor Yeso Wike has demonstrated through the projects that his administration
is poised to providing people-oriented leadership.
We are aware that he has lined up program for the rest of the remaining 3 years to ensure that the landscape of Rivers State is changed. There is no local government without at least one project going on.
For IPAC in Rivers State, this engagement with the government is intended to strengthen relations with the government while also providing constructive criticisms for enhanced service delivery. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Benin is where we go next, and Agatha is our guide.
Edo State government has taken delivery of a sophisticated firefighting truck from the federal government to help address incessant fire outbreaks that have bedeviled the state in recent times. Governor Godwin Obaseki received the truck at the government house. He describes the gesture as a relief. Elizabeth Omoko reports.
This year alone, Edo State has witnessed not less than 4 devastating fire outbreaks. The recent of the fires is the one which ravaged the urban market. The Ifelo, many say, would have caused only limited damage with adequate firefighting facility. To avoid a repeat, the governor solicited federal government support. The donation of a 6,000-litre capacity firefighting truck with inbuilt sophisticated components alongside modern firefighting gadgets is a timely response.
We're also, with the assistance of the Federal Service, refurbishing some of our existing trucks. We are also working with them to put hydrants and water facilities in all our markets.
The Controller General of the Federal Fire Service, Dr. Liman Ibrahim, represented by the Assistant Controller General Tonsin Mohammed, says the Federal Fire Service is working with the state government to develop human capacity.
We are here to train some of the officers with these hydrants here, and we are strategically placed at different places.
With this development, men of the fire service are optimistic of enhanced efficiency. In Benin, Elizabeth Omoko, NTA News.
Now, not minding the spike in cases of COVID-19 in Ondo State, coupled with the recent death of the Commissioner for Health, the state government says total lockdown to contain the virus is not an option. Doris Olumoko examines reasons for the increase in the number of infections in the state in the last 1 month.
Market opens every day with its huge crowd of patrons, many of who still doubt the existence of COVID-19. In Akure, markets are operating on daily basis with huge crowds, many not using the face mask. It is therefore not surprising that Ondo State, which recorded 41 cases of COVID-19 as at 8th of June, has now shot up to 456 cases as at the 6th of July.
We feel that declaring a kind of lockdown, if it is first 3 days, to enable government to sit down and plan.
Lockdown is a difficult decision in many ways because this disease is going to be with us for a while. And we have to get a mechanism where we can live with the disease.
In the meantime, Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has announced that he has tested negative for COVID-19. In Akure, Doris Olumoko, NTA News.
That's it from here. Kene, it's back to you.
Thank you, Agatha. The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and the National Council of Human Society have concluded discussions to roll out a public enlightenment program designed to curb issues of maternal and child mortality in the country. Kenneth Nanim tells us more.
Maternal and child mortality is a major health challenge faced by third world countries that include Nigeria. Tackling this has been of concern to the 3 tiers of government. The National Council of Women Society, in collaboration with Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, have joined in the campaign. This they intend to do by rolling out a public sensitization program on natal and child care with focus on the rural communities.
This is a program that is very dear to me because we must
ensure that no woman loses life in the process of bringing forth a child. Pregnancy is not a curse, it's a blessing, and therefore it should earn a praise.
The main objective of the program is to deliver in tandem these component services made up and compiled by the United Nations to every woman and child in Nigeria, no matter where the person is.
We want to look at how we are going to reduce the maternal mortality as much as possible. We encourage the local government to assist them. We encourage state government to assist so that we can run this program in such a way that people in the rural area will be able to attend antenatal.
The heads of both institutions are also urging the gender champions to give maximum support in guaranteeing safe child and maternal care across the country. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
We'll take another break. Do stay with us.
Tuesday Live this week, the impact of Ajakuta-Kaduna-Kanu gas pipeline project on the economy. How beneficial is the project to boosting domestic natural gas, power and job creation? Join us at 10:30 p.m. on NTA Tuesday Live for in-depth analysis and information. Don't miss it.
The Governing Council and Management of National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, with heavy heart and total submission to the will of Almighty God, announced the passage of our amiable and quintessential chairman, Governing Council, Honorable Inua Abdul Kadir, which sad event took place in the early hours of Monday, 6th July 2020 after a brief illness. Honorable Abdul Kadir was until his death a former Minister of Youth and Sports, Vice Chairman, Northwest of the All Progressives Congress, APC, and member of the party's National Working Committee. He was a thoroughbred lawyer, seasoned administrator and visionary leader whose immense contributions to NAFDAC's concerted efforts at safeguarding public health will be sorely missed. We sincerely express our heartfelt condolences and sympathy to his immediate family, government and good people of Sokoto State. We take solace in the fact that he lived a worthy and selfless life in service of the nation. May his gentle soul rest in Al-Jannah Firdaus, while we pray that Almighty God gives the family grace and strength to bear the irreparable loss with fortitude and forgive his shortcomings. Signed, Professor Muja Adeyeye, FAS, Director General, NAFDAC.
President Muhammadu Buhari has commiserated with the families of victims of recent boat mishaps on the inland waterways in Benue and Lagos State, describing their deaths as sad and unfortunate. The president also condoles with the government and people of both states. President Buhari, while calling on state authorities and surrounding communities to step up rescue efforts of passengers still missing, called on would-be passengers of water transportation to adhere strictly to safety regulations outlined by national and state authorities in order to prevent avoidable accidents and loss of lives and property. President Muhammadu Buhari joins the All Progressives Congress APC in grief over the passing of former member of the National Working Committee, Alhaji Inua Abdul Kadir, who served as Vice Chairman Northwest. While condoling with family members, friends and political associates of the party's stalwart, the president believes Alhaji Abdul Kadir's humility, maturity and penchant for facilitating reconciliation among members were sorely missed at the time the APC is rebuilding and repositioning to deliver on its promises, urging members to always remember and project same legacies of putting the country first. In the same vein, the All Progressive Congress has expressed deep sadness over the death of his immediate past National Vice Chairman Northwest, Inua Abdul Kadir. The FCC said it has lost a grassroots politician, true, progressive and distinguished personality who served the party and country meritoriously and at the highest level. Similarly, national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has also mourned the passing away of Abdul Kadir Inua, who he described as a permanent legal luminary and a grassroots politician. Tinubu, in a statement, said the former national vice chairman Northwest of the APC contributed to the political merger that led to the creation of APC and the progress and development of the party. The remains of late APC chieftain Inuwa Abdul Qadir have been laid to rest in Sokoto. The Heart of Abdullahi has the report.
Prayer was laid by the Grand Qadi of the Sharia Court of Appeal Sokoto, Muhammad Tambari Osman.
Allahu Akbar.
Aged 54, late barrister Inu Abdul Qadir died at the Osman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, following a brief illness. Late barrister Inu Abdul Qadir was a Commissioner of Justice, Sokoto State, Minister of Youth Development, National Deputy Chairman of the APC in charge of Northwest Zone, and until his death, the Chief Scribe of the Sokoto Caliphate and Chairman Pro-Chancellor, Sokoto State University Governing Council, among others. He is survived by 2 wives, 11 children and relations. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol described the passing away of the late barrister as shocking, condoling his esteemed family and the entire people of Sokoto State. Tambol said the death of the courageous, patriotic and upright barrister is a great loss for the state and Nigeria in general. In Sokoto, Dalat Abdullahi, NTA News.
Death has also been announced of one-time Secretary of the Bible Society of Nigeria, Kogi State, and former Deputy Party Chairman of the defunct National Republican Convention of Oyo Local Government in the then Kwara State in 1990, Joseph Adebola Ayimiro, aged 83. Burial arrangements begin with a service of songs on Wednesday, July 8 by 4 p.m., while a wake is scheduled for Thursday, July 9th at 5 p.m., all at his residence, Waterworks Road, Kaba, Kogi State. Home service and interment are slated for Friday, July 10th at 8 a.m. at Akotupa Kiribulu, Kaba, Bulu Local Government Area, Kogi State. He is survived by a wife and children, including Emmanuel Ayimiro of the News Directorate of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. The death has been also announced of a community leader and devout Christian, Madam Naomi Adiewulu, aged 98. Burial arrangements released by Daniel Danjuma Ewunu on behalf of the family indicates that a wake will hold at number 127 Ayewa Oma Idoko Way, Aija, Kogi State on Thursday, 9th of July, and interment follows on Friday, 10th of July at Egala, Obuaida. The burial will be rounded off with a Thanksgiving and outing service at Foursquare Church, Bishop Road, Fiji, Ida. And that's Network News tonight. Many thanks to you for watching. My name is Kenneth Ima Abolike. Do enjoy your night. Bye-bye.